Wonderhussy here in beautiful, desolate Death Valley. About to hike to the top of Telescope Peak. I'm actually not sure which peak it is. All I know is it's the highest point in Death Valley, and from the summit, if you look off to one side, you can see the highest point in the entire continental United States, Mount Whitney, and on the other side, you can look down at the lowest point in the continental United States, Badwater Basin, which is where I am now. And this isn't just the lowest point in the United States, it's the lowest point in the entire Western Hemisphere. In fact, there's a sign about halfway up that mountain there that shows you where sea level is. We're something like 282 feet below sea level standing here. I'm curious to see how accurate my altimeter app is, so let me check and see what it says. 339. Well, I guess my app's not as accurate as I thought it was. Anyway, this landscape is a trip. It's all salt crystals formed into these weird, well, almost like hexagonal shapes. I guess that's how crystals grow. And then if you go down and feel the salt, it's real crumbly. You can see. It's just salt crystals. Let's see how it tastes. Woo! That's even saltier than I am. I guess this is called Badwater Basin because there is actually water pooled up in certain areas out here, but it's not very good to drink. Obviously, it's really, really salty. This is actually the terminus, the end point of the Amargosa River. I made a video kind of about the Amargosa River. You can check that out if you're interested. It's a desert river. It flows through the Mojave Desert, mostly underground. It just comes to the surface in random places. And, well, it ends up here in this searing, baking, miserable, salty pan. Like a metaphor for something. I'm not sure what. But I guess the early pioneers that were trying to cross Death Valley, which, by the way, remember, people had to cross Death Valley on foot, wagons with horses on their way west. I mean, if they came the southern route, if they didn't, well, I mean, even the northern route was rough, but God, I would have done anything to avoid having to cross Death Valley. I have nothing but, well, respect and maybe bemusement toward those who did cross this super harsh landscape. But hey, greed will make people do all kinds of things. Anyway, I'm hiking up to the top of the mountain in the morning because it's like a 12-mile round trip hike and I want to get an early start. But I thought I would come down here first just to get a look at what I'm up against. I mean, the trailhead actually starts way up top at the top of the Panama Mountains. There's actually a campground up there called the Mahogany Flat Campground. But gosh, that's at something like 9,000 feet. And I checked the weather forecast and well, today's November 23rd. Tomorrow will be the 24th. It's right before Thanksgiving. And the low, it's supposed to be 19 degrees up there tonight. So I'm not trying to camp in that. Instead, I scouted out a campsite closer to the valley floor. I mean, I'd love to just camp right here, to be honest, because, well, A, it's spectacularly beautiful. B, it's the lowest point in the park, so it's probably gonna be the warmest. But unfortunately, camping in Death Valley is actually kind of complicated. I mean, there's like 5 or 6 established campgrounds, but I mean, to be honest, they kind of suck. I've stayed in a couple of them, and well, not only are the sites really close together, you have zero privacy because there's no trees out here. So staying in the campgrounds is not for me. But when it comes to backcountry camping out here, there's actually a lot of regulations. Like, you can't camp anywhere off a paved road. And even the dirt roads, there's certain of them that are off limits to camping, like West Side Road, which runs along the west side of this playa. You're not allowed to camp anywhere along that, I'm pretty sure. So, gosh, I looked at the rules on their website and I did my best to abide by their policies. So I scouted out a site that's as close to the trailhead as possible without being up too high in elevation, because I want to save myself time in the morning, not have to drive too far to the trailhead, but I also don't want to freeze my you-know-what's off. Anyway, I guess I better get going to my campsite because it's about, I think, almost an hour's drive away over by Stovepipe Wells, and I want to make sure I have plenty of daylight to see where I'm going. And I want to get to bed early so that I can get up at the crack of dawn and try to be up on top of that mountain in time to, well, get to the top and back. you guys hear that? Huh. Me neither! The campsite that I scouted out using Google Maps worked perfectly. Come to find out, it's called Lemoigne Canyon Rd, and there was a sign at the beginning that said, no camping first mile, which is, I guess, the rules out here. Anyway, it's getting dark quick. I mean, it's friggin' late November, and it's only like, it's not even 5 o'clock yet, and it's already getting dark, so I'm hungry. I'm gonna start cooking some dinner while I still have light to see by. What do we have in the old pantry? For whatever reason, I keep my food in bags down here. Oh, we have a bunch of tasty bites that one of my fans sent me. So we'll have some Indian Jaipur vegetables and some garlic brown rice. And then to add a little more protein to it, I also picked up a bag of cashews at the Alien Cat House gas station on my way out here. These are super easy to cook because all you have to do is plop it into a pot of boiling water for 5 minutes, and you can eat it right out of the bag. Yummy. That was delicious. Now to get ready for bed. I just love camping in my car. There's a place where I can go and I won't be afraid. In my car, in my car, in my car. Okay, better get some rest so I'm ready for my big hike in the morning. It's not even 9 o'clock yet and I'm already in bed. Nighty night. Good morning. Wow, look at this. I'm just shooting this through my car window because it's too cold to get out, but holy cow, sunrise. Man, I'm hardly ever awake for sunrise, let alone out in the desert. This is friggin' awesome. All right, I'm up. Let's roll. Okay, wow, I know I'm supposed to be going to this freaking trailhead and get started on this hike, but charcoal kilns, these are amazing. Okay, so there's a sign there that tells you about it, but in the interest of saving time, I'm just gonna tell you myself. They needed charcoal to fuel the furnace in the smelter at all these mines, right? So apparently there's this Murdoch mine, I think it was called, that's like 20 miles west of here, and that's what all these charcoal kilns were used for, to make charcoal to burn in the smelter at that mine. And according to that sign, because these are so far up in the mountains and kind of hard to get to, these are like the best preserved charcoal kilns, or among the best preserved charcoal kilns in the entire West. I mean, you can see they're just built out of, like, it's basically just a rock igloo with some kind of cement holding everything together, but there's little ventilation holes in the bottom. I'm not sure you can see that. It's all totally perfect, as if it was just used yesterday. You can even go inside. Let's go inside one. Whoa, this is a trip inside here. It's like almost being in a cathedral. That's the top. And then there's a window, I guess, for ventilation. And then there's all these little ventilation holes around the bottom. You can kind of see daylight coming through. And then there's the door we just came through. I'm not sure you guys can see that, but there's still soot on the ceiling. Well, and on the walls, for that matter, from all these old fires from like 100 years ago, 150 years ago. If you've been to Death Valley, you know there's really no trees and on the valley floor at all. You gotta go way up in the mountains, like up here. And I guess they burned pinyon pines. They would start these massive pinyon pine fires in here, and they would burn them for 7 days, for like an entire week. to get the charcoal, I guess, burned down to a nice charcoal. And then they had to cool it for like another 5 days before they could transport it to the smelter. Okay, there's a whole line of these kilns. They're like, it looks like a bunch of beehives. I feel like I'm in Utah, but we don't have time to go in all of them, and they're probably all the same anyways. I gotta get on this trail. It's already like almost 11 a.m. Okay, I'm here at the trailhead. It's time to start hiking. There is a lot of snow on the ground up here, but I guess that stands to reason. We're at pretty good elevation. Oh look, here's the trail. 7 miles. Dang, I thought it was only 6 miles each way. All right, well, just a few little facts here before we get started. So the base elevation of this hike, the trailhead, well, the sign in the parking lot I think said 8133. That means we're hiking all the way up to 11,049 feet. That's how high the peak is. So we're gonna be gaining almost 3,000 feet of elevation. Whew, at altitude. It's gonna be a tough one. 7 miles each way, 14 miles altogether. I mean, if I really hustle, I can do 2.5, 3 miles an hour. Well, I read online, one hiker said it took him 3 hours up, 2 back, like 6 hours altogether, including time spent at the top. And it's 10:30 in the morning now, so if I can do it in 6 hours, that'll get me back to my car right at dusk. And I'll barely have enough daylight to at least get down out of the snow. Oh, look, litter already. I'll pick it up. Oh man, lens wipe, some photographer. Anyways, oh wow, you can already see amazing views off to the left. I'm not gonna show you too much yet though, because I'm gonna wait till we get to the top. From the top, you can supposedly see 100 miles in both directions, I think, or in any direction. I don't know, I guess we'll find out. Oh man, this trail is a doozy. Not only does the altitude get you, but whew, it's pretty relentless uphill the whole way. I've been hiking for just under an hour. It's 11:29, and oh gosh, I'm at like 9,600 feet now. But you really have to be careful because there's a lot of snow on this trail. You know what I mean? I think this is the first snow of the year. It rained pretty heavily, gosh, just a few days ago in Vegas, so I guess that's when it all happened. So that's another reason why I'm kind of pushing myself to hike faster than I normally would, is I don't want to have to hike down this trail in the dark. You know, like it's gonna be slippery going down. It's really cool where I am now because, well, up till now, we've had amazing views into Death Valley, but now we've come up to the saddle and we can actually see off to the west as well, to the Sierras. Look at that. This view is friggin' amazing. You can see there's a cell phone tower up there too. So I probably get 4G up here. That'll be my reward to myself when I get to the top. I'll sit and eat my breakfast and check my email. Telescope Peak right there, so well, we're almost there. I mean, I just looked at my map, Google Maps, and it looks like I'm over halfway, so I feel pretty good, even though, well, I probably feel pretty good because I've been on this level portion, hiking along this saddle, haven't been gaining much elevation. In fact, I think I lost a little bit. I think I'm around 9,500 feet, and remember, the top of this thing is 11,049. So you know what that means. I still have like 1,500 feet, 1,600 feet of elevation to gain. And it looks like it's all gonna be right there, going up that final slope. All right, I'm pretty much standing at the base of the final ascent to the top of Telescope Peak. Now's the time to stop dilly-dallying. I gotta rally all my strength and make that final push to the top. Oh gosh, guys, I think I'm almost there. That's it. Finally. Okay, here it is. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, I'm standing on top of Telescope Peak, and let me tell you something. When they said there were great views from up here, they weren't kidding. Holy moly. Okay, so there's this little like rock outcropping here. It looks like there's a trail register, which we will definitely have to sign. There's a marker showing Telescope Peak, a geological survey marker. I'll show you guys that too. But first, I want to show you guys this view. Holy cannoli. You can see everything from up here. Remember the sign said you could see 100 miles. And boy, I believe it. I mean, I'm not very good at judging distances, but looks far to me. Off there to the west, in the Sierras, there's old Mount Whitney, the highest point in the continental U.S. And then on the other side of the mountains, down in Death Valley, there's Badwater Basin, the lowest point in the U.S., where we were yesterday. It's a pretty dramatic view from up here. Wow, it is friggin' freezing up here. Holy cannoli. When I first got up here, I'll be honest, I had to fake that ascent because when I first got up here, there was a couple, a mom and a dad and a baby. Okay, they had a backpack that they friggin' backpacked a kid up here. And they were cool. Thankfully, they left pretty much as soon as I got up here because, you know, I want to shoot some video. And I also wanted to take a nudie for my Instagram account. I always like taking a picture standing on top of mountains naked because why not? So if you're into that kind of thing, follow me on Instagram. Okay, well, I don't want to spend too much time on the mountain because it's like 1:30. It took me about 3 hours to get up here, which was kind of what I anticipated. And I don't want to rush going down because there's a lot of snow on the trail and I'll be tired. Don't want to slip, you know, it's some pretty treacherous snowy slopes. So I want to try to get down off here by 2. So let's look inside this ammo box real fast and see if there's any goodies in here. Oh wait, before we look in the ammo box, let me show you guys that USGS marker. I saw it over here. There it is. U.S. Geological Survey marker. Far out. Okay, now let's see what's in this ammo box. Got some stickers on the outside. Some people that have been hiking up here. Tuolumne County hikers. That's cool. Some local hiking group. Tuolumne Meadows. That's kind of near here, I guess. But I noticed on the back of the trail register, look at this. Not sure you can see that, but there's a Patriots sticker on it. I don't know how you feel about the Patriots, but apparently the Patriots are the only NFL team whose fans are hardcore enough to hike to the top of Telescope Peak. Anyway, let's see what's inside the trail register, or inside the ammo can, I should say. Oh, look. Hike Arizona, St. Archer Brewing Company. Oh, it's a plastic bag with the books in it that you sign. I guess there's 2 of them. And then there's also, oh wow, look, this is cool. Peak Finder. It's a map, shows you what you're looking at, all the mountains. Far out, Mount Whitney. It's on there. And then what's on the other side? This must be the other direction. Oh yeah, far out, man. Yeah, I was wondering, there's a mountain in the distance there to the east that's covered in snow. I thought that was maybe Mount Charleston, but I'm not sure. Anyway, let's see what's inside the trail register. Telescope Summit Register. Okay. Oh, and there's a pen in it. Awesome. Let's see. Oh, this is a brand new book. 11/24/19. That's oh, look, this book just started on the 18th. Today is the 24th, so wow, I get to, oh wow, look how cute. These guys came from Belarus. Belarus group. Timo, Natasha, Anton. Good for you guys. And then they wrote some stuff in Russian. You know, they got it. There's their Instagram account if you're curious to see what they look like. Kozaruski Dmitry. That's cool, man. Do svidanya, guys. I don't even know what that means. I think that means thank you. Wow, man, there's a lot of people who hike this peak. Dang. All right, well, I guess I better sign my name. Oh, look, I think that's the family that just left here. Okay, let me see what I can write. Okay, I wrote, burning some calories to get ready for Thanksgiving. Wonderhussy, aka Sarah Jane from Las Vegas. Okay, cool. Oh, well, there's really nothing else in this ammo can other than these trail registers, which is kind of a blessing because I don't have a lot of time to spend up here poking through stuff. So I'm just gonna put the pens back in, and then I'm gonna lock it back up. Put it back just where it was there. All right, well, unfortunately, I only have about 10 minutes to hang out up here before I need to start down. So I'm just gonna eat some breakfast and check my email, like I promised myself. And then I'm gonna start hiking back down. Yum. Unfortunately, all I brought on this hike was one protein bar, but now that I just burned all these calories hiking up here, you know what that means. That means I can eat whatever I want at Thanksgiving dinner and not worry. Mom, make extra mashed potatoes for me. Anyway, I gotta get going, man. Like I said, it's probably already a little after 2, and the sun goes down fast this time of year. So that's all the time, unfortunately, that I get to spend up here at the peak, Telescope Peak, the highest point in Death Valley. Wow, and what's really cool, I mean, it's cool to see Badwater Basin and Mount Whitney, but it's really cool to look at the top of the Panamint Mountains, you know? All these little canyons that I've explored in there, like where Barker Ranch is and Panamint City Ghost Town, and oh man, the Weston Cabin, all these places that I've hiked to. This is one of my favorite mountain ranges. There's a lot of cool stuff up here. Okay, for the hike down, I really need to concentrate, so I'm not going to shoot any footage because I don't want to slip and fall. So I'll catch up with you at the bottom. I'm hoping it'll only take about 2 hours to get down, so I should be down there around 4 o'clock, and it should still be light enough to get safely back down that snowy road. Fingers crossed. Woohoo! I made it back down. Oh man, it's like 4:30. It took me, well, I left the top at 2.5 hours to get down, a little longer than I expected, but I did cheat and go on my cell phone a little bit when I had signal, because I didn't actually have 4G at the top. I thought I would, but come to find out, there's only 4G at one spot along the trail. So I dilly-dallied there, posting pictures and such. But now I'm back at my car, and I'm making some nourishing bone broth. I wanted a hot cup of bone broth to drink while I'm driving to my campsite. Man, great hike. Overall, it took me 6 hours, just like I anticipated. I spent a half hour at the top, 3,000 feet of elevation gain, 14 miles round trip. The trail itself is pretty easy. It's not technically challenging at all. You know, the snow on parts of the trail did make it a little bit slippery, but, you know, just be careful, or, you know, don't do the hike in winter, do it in summer. Gosh, I kind of want to come back and do this in summer sometime, because I bet it's friggin' amazing when it's nice weather out. Anyway, I'm rolling out of Death Valley from here. I'm going to camp somewhere down by Ridgecrest tonight, because I want to be someplace a little bit warmer, and it's on the way I'm going towards my mom's for Thanksgiving. And after all the calories I burned today, I can't wait.